Did you know you might need 20% more for retirement than you think? This is for anyone planning their golden years. Today, we'll uncover the hidden retirement costs lurking beneath your plans. Follow along as we explore three critical points. Point 1. Healthcare. Health costs in retirement can be a major budget buster. A recent study by Fidelity found that a couple retiring at 65 may need around $300,000 to cover medical expenses throughout retirement. That's a daunting figure for anyone. It doesn't include long-term care, which has its own expenses. Genworth's Cost of Care survey shows that the national median cost of a private room in a nursing home is over $100,000 annually. Multiply that by a few years, and the numbers start to add up quickly. Common advice often underestimates these figures, suggesting modest healthcare budgets. However, these tips overlook potential price increases and unexpected health crises. Relying on averages doesn't account for the potential risk of outliving one's savings due to unforeseen healthcare costs. Consider the impact on your financial planning. Think about a budget miscalculation of 20%, which may seem small at first. Over a 30-year retirement, that can result in a shortfall of tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Transitioning to our solution, understanding these hidden costs is vital. In the next points, we'll reveal more on how you can prepare better and safeguard your future. This isn't just about squeezing pennies, it's ensuring a stable, comfortable retirement. Point 2. Let's focus on the healthcare costs you might underestimate. According to Fidelity's retiree healthcare cost estimate, a 65-year-old couple retiring today could need $315,000 for healthcare alone during retirement. That's an enormous figure that doesn't always make it into the early calculators. Here's why it matters. Assuming an average inflation rate for medical costs at around 5%, these expenses could double in about 14 years. If you plan to retire at 65 and live for another 20 years, those costs could reach a daunting $630,000 by your 81st birthday. It's crucial to allocate extra savings to cover this gap. Point 3. Another hidden cost is related to lifestyle choices, specifically how much you travel. So, not to be all doom and gloom, but if your idea of retirement is to travel extensively, you might encounter a financial shock. Consider this. A single round-the-world trip could easily cost $20,000 or more. To exemplify, if you plan such trips every 2 years, your budget needs to accommodate an additional $100,000 over a 10-year period. Now, if that sounds financially overwhelming, you might think twice before planning a spontaneous weekend getaway. Pause, light chuckle. Pattern interrupt here. Have you ever noticed how everyone talks about golf in retirement? Well, for some, it's not just the clubs, it's the club fees. Then, joining a club can cost up to $3,500 per year. Over 20 years of retirement, you're looking at $70,000. Now, despite these numbers, the path forward doesn't need to be scary. Up next, we'll discuss effective strategies to tackle these costs head-on. With practical adjustments, you can protect your nest egg without sacrificing your dreams. Point 4. Creating a solid action plan to mitigate hidden retirement costs can safeguard your financial future. Here's a practical strategy you can implement today. Set aside an additional 10% of your monthly income, specifically to address unexpected costs in retirement. Let's break it down further with numbers. If your monthly income is $5,000, ideally, you should be saving an additional $500 per month. Over a year, this reserves an extra $6,000, which compounds over decades. Imagine this accumulating over 20 years, and it's easy to see how this strategy could cover unforeseen expenses. Deploy a 30-day plan. Start by scrutinizing your monthly expenditures. Identify areas where you can cut back by 10%. This could be reducing dining out or canceling unused subscriptions. Allocate these savings to a high-yield savings account or low-risk investments earmarked for retirement surprises. The strongest objection might be, what if you just can't afford to save more? The truth is, even a modest increase has a real impact. Saving an extra 1% today is infinitely better than nothing and can be adjusted over time. Returning to the opening idea, preparing for the hidden retirement costs with this approach could mean 20% more financial cushion than you initially anticipated. Addressing these invisible expenses head-on is within your grasp. If you found this strategy useful, consider subscribing for more insights into securing your financial future. Thank you for watching.